Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. We are playing with our Inquisitor here. And we still have the campaign to wrap up. The last episode, back in December 2017. Recording this one at the end of January, so that's nearly 2 months later. Last episode, we went through the void and arrived in a Lone Watch here. So for this episode, the goal is going to be to make ourselves to Malmouth. And we are happily greeted here by a bunch of Ctonians. I did run through some of the early areas just a little bit to get back into it, but truth be told, I have not played a lot of Grim Dawn lately. My focus has been on Path of Exile, as always is the case when a new expansion comes out. But now we're almost 2 months into the expansion. I've reached maps there. And that is a good point to get back to series that need to be wrapped up and to get thinking about new series. Because I'm definitely not done yet with a Grim Dawn. So I suspect it's gonna be maybe 5 or 6 episodes to wrap up the remaining content here. And after that, our new series is going to be a twist on something I showed you during the Necromancer playthrough. I'll be playing Drain Essence as a Death Knight. I did play some Grim Dawn and I actually did start a Death Knight and played it through the first parts of the campaign. And after that I did a bit of running through the endless fun of the Crucible. And it turns out that a Drain Essence Death Knight, it is actually pretty sturdy. Especially if you focus on the sturdiness aspect, or you can actually make them pretty sturdy and pretty good at doing passive damage. So it will be a build that once again will be hardcore, like my damage reflection counter-strike using soldier before it that eventually turned into a commando. Problem with that build, turns out, was if you focus a lot on damage reflection, at least if you focus enough on damage retaliation, it's not reflection, it's retaliation, to have regular mobs die when they touch you, then that's all gonna fine. If you then focus the remainder of your efforts on staying alive, then, well, you're gonna stay alive. But killing bosses is gonna take a very, very long time. And especially in ultimate difficulty, killing heroic enemies, let alone end bosses, takes quite a long time. But eventually that build, sturdy and slow as it might have been, did manage to take down the Logorian on Ultimate Hardcore when that was still the goal of the game. Since then I've had the question, now, why don't you take this character for a spin and then try and see if you can beat the rest of the new game with it in the expansion? But I'd rather do that with another character. And I figure the Death Knight is going to be a spiritual successor, a version 2, so to say. So on the Death Knight, or on the Necromancer side, Drain Essence is going to be the thing. The name escapes me, but the aura that gives you a bunch of life, and with the upgrade that when enemies hit you, that they and all their nearby buddies get debuffed for some vitality and ether damage. The one bottom left of the tree. That one is very powerful. So that's gonna be a very high early priority. On the soldier side, I'm gonna use cast a weapon and a shield. So I will be boosting the shield nodes. I'll be going for overguard just to have an active panic button. And we will be going once again for Counter-Strike. simply because it is a very, very nice skill. But the damage will most definitely be coming from Drain Essence rather than from physical attacks. And as I said, now I've prototyped a little bit of that character, and early impressions seem good. And if you focus a lot more on the passive elements rather than on boosting your Drain Essence as quickly as possible, then you can actually get a bit of a handle on the energy management aspect of it, because Drain Essence is a very energy hungry skill. So all my Necromancer and now my Inquisitor playthrough have been on non-hardcore. So on that account I've unlocked everything, or keep calling it account, it's offline, but on that difficulty or that game mode you could call it, I've unlocked everything, I've upgraded my stash, things like that. On the hardcore side, my ultimate soldier is the only one that I've really just played through the game with. So I've unlocked the old blueprints, I unlocked the stash, there's some crafting materials in there, but it is very much not as wealthy and rich as this one. And there's no expansion items there, so it's almost going to be like a cold start, but with a little bit of help. So there's going to be some light twinking. I'll be using all the ectoplasms I can find, for example, just to give myself a little bit of a shot at early game energy management, because we definitely will need it. And the goal will be to defeat the new end boss, the expansion end boss, on ultimate difficulty, or die trying. And let's see, there's a rift here, and it didn't really matter whether we went in first or not, so let's do that, then we don't have to remember to go back. So the Cinder Wastes, they have a boss encounter for us. Let's see, this was only 3 levels above me. 2 levels above me, so this is not really that much of a challenge area. Or I'm already starting to outlevel it, that is also possible. But there's gonna be a unique in here, and there is gonna be another portal in here. That's something that I discovered after my first playthrough. There is another portal in here that has a little bit of a lore meaning behind it. So that's going to be a fun thing as well. Let's see if we can find that portal. Because it's not an exit portal, it's a portal deeper into the void. So for the foreseeable future, at least for what remains of January and for February at least, I'll be alternating Grim Dawn and Path of Exile every other day. Simply to just balance things. Something that some of you might have caught in the comments, but some might not. No, I did take bit of a break from the game because of Path of Exile, and my intention was to return back in early January. It is late January now, so I'm returning later than I'd expected. And reason for that is that by December I was really in need of vacation. I really needed some time off to just regain my energy. But turns out, despite taking 3 weeks off intending to take 3 weeks off for the Christmas vacation, a week before Christmas, a week around Christmas, and then a week into the new year. First week, all kinds of business responsibilities and all kinds of other things still kept me occupied. Then Christmas week, of course, is very social. So, as often the case, only the 1 week after Christmas, it was really a relaxing week. And that didn't really help much. So, for most of January, I've actually been pretty exhausted. So every day, when I came home, I was just empty of energy. So I was lucky enough that with Path of Exile, at least I managed to reach maps. So I could switch there into something that you could call maybe an easier pace. That's a rift we all want to keep an eye out for. So I kept that up, but nope, switching back to Grim Dawn, really getting into another series. I just didn't really have the energy to balance that. I'm doing a bit better now. Oh, I've been trying to really focus on just taking it easy and not doing too much. But still, I'm definitely not with my energy levels where I would like to be. But at least I'm doing good enough now to at least want to start again on another project for Grim Dawn. Let's see, so that one is a bit out of reach, doesn't really matter. Just have to remember, top left is where we saw Portal. But we are looking for the minion, the pet. Yes. Alright, Visage of Madness, that's not the one I'm looking for. Okay, maybe I'll just want to a bit of a quick step back here. Turtle shell kicked in, that is always nice. And yeah. Stormbox, always useful. Doesn't really matter what kind of character I play, I always end up just face tanking things. Even when it's not really strictly required. It's one of the reasons why my next character is going to be a Death Knight with a shield. No, might as well just embrace reality. Some arcanes, okay, it's a little more crowded than I'm comfortable with. Let's take out the non-boss ones. Or just take a small step backwards here. Okay, problem is they are pretty large and it makes it difficult to see what kind of things they're futzing with the floor. Oh, leave me alone, you monsters. And one of them is a nullifier of sorts, isn't it? Interesting thing is, of course, their trigger things, now heals, damage shields, things like that, they are linked to my auras. If I don't have my auras, then I don't have my protection, then I'm much more vulnerable than I would prefer to be. So it seems like the regular mobs are just things that they are summoning. Oh, is this a bottleneck that I can use in my favor? Nope, 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 nope. This one is still part of the original annoyances. And that one, yeah. The Tormentor, Arcane. Oh, to top it all off, of course. The Bloodkeepers are healers, so it doesn't really matter what I do against the other ones. Bloodkeeper must die. Or they must all lose their mana. Actually I didn't lose any auras. Hey, did I manage to get the Bloodkeeper empty? Nearly. Gotcha. Oh, come on. Yes. Got you. Okay, this is one of the most annoying kinds of enemies to fight when they strip away your protections as well as your damage bonuses. So you're continually just kiting them. But it's the arcane, and I did manage to just pull that one with a single tonic tyrant. Oh, maybe I should actually drink a heal potion and try to get my auras back up. Okay, Tyrant, please die. Yes, Arcane. Gone. Right, that is one taken out. Yep, looks like everything is still in place. Right, next problem. The Tormentor. Of course, Shadow Step, that's okay. Well, yeah, not the self. Maybe I should stand in the protective circle rather than putting it on the enemy. Yeah, once you no longer have healing backup, you really are not that tough. Ah, the one in the center, that's the one to take. The other ones are our exit. This is not. This is the one deeper in, so that's the one to remember. But it's still not the one I'm looking for. Treasure trove. One dynamite in exchange for some loot. Ooh, Devil's Cage Hauberk. I use this one with great pleasure on my commando. 100% chance when hit, recharge 6 seconds, 4 second duration, engage something, well actually a lot of somethings within 3 meters. Dealing physical and chaos damage and reducing their defensive ability, because they're caged so they can't really defend themselves. And a bonus to physical damage, quite a bonus to physical damage actually. Some chaos damage bonus, internal trauma, health, physical, more fire resistance than you ever need, and 6% physical resistance, and bonuses to skills I don't have. Exchanging it with my current one, I would lose 24% chaos rest, which, well, actually would mean going back down to 40. Gaining damage, losing a percentage bonus to fire, but I think fire is currently my 3rd strongest damage type. So exchanging that for physical, which is my second strongest, is alright. Well, no, keep this one apart and try to see if I can swap it in between episodes. Let's put it in the final chapter. Earlier on we picked up the Dark Flame chests. Fire, Vitality, Burn, Vitality Decay. Fire converted to Vitality, that is interesting. Though it is not really all that useful for me. 10% chance when hit to get a Spirit Ward. To get physical and Vitality resistance is pretty decent. Especially 20% physical resistance, that's quite a number. And let's see, Shade Leather Leggings, Empowered Inscribed Bracers. Elemental Seal when hit, I mean we are pretty strong on the elemental damage, that is pretty neat. The ether resistance built in is also not a bad idea, since it will help me cap my resists. And it is more armor, but it is, yeah, 7 levels above me. Maybe another time. Maybe another time. Right, let's sort this, spend this point on a physique. We got some skill points. Let's see, put one more point into Aura of Conviction. I've got a note saying here to remember to put another point into it. Because right now we get 3% physical resistance. Next one is gonna get us another 2%, and after that it should only be 1% per level. So it's very efficient. Though of course every level we invest in it, we gain more damage, which is also very useful. Other than that, we have a long road to go towards Blast Shield. So let's start spending points on that and see when we reach it. Other than that, yay, there is it. Thrall of Dravis. You are the one I was looking for. So let's keep up that lightning box of Algoloth. Oh, he summoned something on me. Let's make sure to at least keep the protective circle on my feet. And recast my roots. And there we are. Dravis' offering. That's the reason I was here. Wait, do you both have a heal? That's evil. Of course though, that means once your healer is gone, you are gone. And there we are. Okay. So there is one more portal to go through then. That is deeper. Last time I overlooked this one and I went with the one in the corner to just jump back out. Because I think I more or less just walked into Dravis when I entered the area. But there is some significance to this one. Funny thing is, no. If I had recorded this one straight after the other one, I probably would have remembered what it was that was here. Now all I remember is there's a reason for going in here. There's a boss fight or something. Something interesting. But for the life of me, I couldn't tell you what. So, no, it's almost like we'll be discovering this together. Oh, that sense of mystery is always nice. That's one of the nice things, of course, of just taking a small break from a game and then just going back to it. Okay, let's just throw a couple of mines in there. I still enjoy using the horn to just confuse the enemies. Bloodkeepers. Let's see, if I confuse you, you're on the run, then I can finish you. It's almost like you need to use crowd control against these guys. Because otherwise they'll just keep healing each other if there's too many of them. Okay. Clearly leads us to another section. So, okay, the misses are very infrequent. A 93% chance to hit is pretty decent, and in reverse, no, they have a pretty good chance to miss me. I think though, in terms of damage output, this could do more damage. Doesn't feel like it's incredibly overpowered. But yet you don't really have the staying power of a dedicated tanking build. Okay. There's Bloodsworn here. Nimia, Roderick and Naya. Hello. I don't know what you are doing here, but you need to leave. Now! It approaches. What's happening? Lunal Volkov, the Steward of Darkness, our tormentor. I can feel it approaching. Leave now, or join our fate. That doesn't sound good. Hello, Steward. It's level 57, I'm 51, so that's 6 above me. Pretty normal for a boss encounter. Okay, little add-ons, little muppets. Let's just keep that circle going. Okay, there's enough casual AoE damage that... with just a single health potion, this should be doable, and then the Tormentor is gone. I don't think it was that big and mighty. By the gods, I thought you were doomed, and you just destroyed that creature. Please, spare us this torment. Let us out. But aren't you Bloodsworn? Aren't you happy here? Why should I help you? I understand that the cult has caused much harm across Karn in recent months. But you have to understand, we were desperate. We joined the cult because it offered safety, not because we believed in all this blood and Catan madness. We were not even involved with the necropolis. You have to believe me. I beg you. Destroy that ruined crystal nearby and let us out. I swear we'll burn these robes and try to do something worthwhile with our second chance. Assuming we even make it out of the void alive. Alright, I'll help you. And that gets us 2 Blood of Catan and a Bloodsworn vestment. That's a caster item and not that useful for me. Hey, no, get out of here. And then we get our own private portal to get back to greener pastures, I think the term would be. Fighting ethereal scamps. Wait, I'm actually slightly overshot here. Because we have one more person to say hello to. Because this leads up to the ramps connecting with Malmouth itself. Or the outskirts at least. But before we can go there, we have someone to say hello to. Someone who is not at this camp, obviously, but there should be more camps along the top side of the ridge here. Okay, standing in the middle of ether fire, but that was alright. The damage absorption afforded by the Word of or by the Inquisitor Seal, it really does help to stay alive. Though you do have to stay put to make the most of it. There we have it, Dela Thornsbury, who of course is looking for Dravis, so we'll be looking for clues. And that is yet another quest to go on. Another reason for ferreting out things in cellars and all kinds of other hidden places. So here to the top left lies town. We'll see if we can just hang on a little bit to the right, just explore a little bit in the outskirts. And then eventually we end up at the waypoint. There's a devotion shrine here, a ruined shrine. One of the shrines in the expansion. There's not a lot. I had expected there to be more, but I guess the devs didn't really want to put too much power in the expansion, especially because the maximum number of shrines only went up by 5. So no, technically you can do all of that still without the expansion content. With the expansion content, however, you can do it much sooner. Okay, I don't think I like the cool one here. And then this one is taken, and that one looked... yeah, it's blocked. So we have to go further left anyway. Okay, if they just keep trickling in like this, then we're gonna be fine. If you keep summoning them like trickles, then of course, then that's not really gonna help me. Ever. I can't shoot up. That's unfortunate. Defeated, and we get an Aether Cluster for our troubles. I remember this place as being rather busy, and especially there's a lot of enemies on the balustrade, so they're gonna swarm in from behind, while the enemies in front are actually mostly cleared out. That's good. Just put down some mines, that's gonna help quite a bit. And in the end they all bind to dust. Oi. Oh, there's a strong box up top. Yeah, I must grab that. Can't resist. Okay. And then might as well grab this green one over here and then shoot at you from the top. Cause what you gonna do? Look at me. If you could dump someone like a portable defensive wall, that would be neat. I guess going a hybrid Inquisitor Necromancer or something and just having your skeletons function as a wall, that could work. There's a cellar here I do intend to go in. Something in the back of my mind tickles and says that was where something related to Trevis was, but I could be completely wrong. I'm very curious to see how this character is going to handle in the fight against the end boss. Got a suspicion I'll need more firepower, because this just doesn't feel as powerful as the Necromancer. Nope, flawed as the minions were, because they did have a habit of dying against AoE, and well, clearly this one has that problem to much less, because there's no minions to have die on me. Let's see, that way is blocked, so I need to backtrack here. Everybody, please, do gather around, gather around. I've got a bit of natural background life regeneration going on here. So as long as I manage to mitigate incoming damage with the seal, then I can withstand quite some punishment. And I think early on in the series I described it, the tree of the Inquisitor, the way I saw it at least, as that there's two choices. Now either you go for a hit and run build, or you go for a stand and fight build. But I don't think a Grim Dawn really allows you to do a hit and run build. Or maybe I've never really focused on the mobility aspect of the builds. So now you need to be able to run to do the hit and run. But if you can't really run, if you don't really have the speed for that, then stand and fight, or, well, stand and die is the only options you're really left with. So rather than going for a very mobile approach, well, being realistic and saying, oh, no, that seal is actually a pretty good tool to, if I cast it on myself, that is. It's actually a pretty good tool for staying alive, because now mitigating the damage of all the incoming hits does mean that low as my life might be, low as my regeneration options might be, if I simply take less damage for every hit that comes my way, I have more options. Yes, see, there's Travis's ladder. So maybe putting a couple more points into my Inquisitor Seal might not be a bad thing to do. Or simply getting more plus bonuses to all skills. That's also going to be useful. Okay, surrounded on all sides. Let's at least just blow the regular mobs away. Quite a number of light effects going on, but I think you missed with your comet. 56 terror knocks, that's only 5 levels above me. That's really not that scary. And there we are. That you are. Because no, the way this build stands right now, you need better gear. This one does need better gear. That's the thing. That's currently, I need more damage simply to deal with larger groups of enemies. Maybe if you have more damage, then you can get away with something closer to a hit and run build. But if you don't have the damage to really get away with that, then no, standard tank is probably the best thing to fall back on. So look, what was this? Brave Knight Pauldrons. Vitality, cold, that's not my elements. A little bit of attack damage converted to health. I don't think I've actually got any sources of that, which is a little unfortunate, because that would be useful. Solid amount of ether resistance, plus to the bone harvest, and a 20% chance when hits to get a soul well, which does cold and vitality damage. Again, types I don't really deal, so none too helpful. So on the outside there's gonna be a shrine, and then there's gonna be a waypoint, and that is where we're gonna go for this episode. Now, it's gonna be a series of probably 40-45 minute episodes rather than closer to 20-minute episodes. Just to see if we can indeed wrap this up in a limited number of episodes, so we can get started on a new series after that. Hello there, mumps. It's always nice when there's secret doors with corpses and boxes, because that means more items. Hey. That was that. See, where are we? Oh, we didn't really move all that much. Let's see, cross here. Let's head towards the shrine. Voracious you are. That. Okay. Couple too many mages for my liking behind me. Mages do have a habit of doing quite some damage while being relatively fragile. Therefore very good targets to aim for first in the fight. Yeah, definitely a little anxious for some of the larger enemies in Malmouth itself. And some of the encounters that you could almost qualify as mini boss encounters. Okay, we'll need some ether steel bolts. Let's fix that. Because I remember just how hard they did hit with the Necromancer. And there was no blacksmith here, was there? No, there was not. So back down to Devil's Crossing we go. Ether steel bolts. No, you're the merchant or the storage. You are the crafter. Ether steel bolts. Okay, we need 3 more cracked lodestones. 1, 2, 3. And ether steel bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Merge. Then we have it. And all the pieces are together. Good. Then we can go back down to where we came from. Funny that technically the waypoint still counts as Lone Watch, even though I am up close to the Malmouth thing. But a devotion point we get nonetheless. So we got started on the scythe, so continue with the scythe I will. And 150 health and 12 health regen is definitely a nice bonus here. So health regen is now at 130. And my health with the boost is just over 7,000. I think for this stage in the game, just having over 7,000 health, no, in combat situations, so to say, or as long as you remember to keep the buff up, pretty good. This definitely allows me to tank a lot more attacks than you normally would want to tank with a ranged character. Let's go there. Okay, all of you around me, just bugger off, please. And another ether cluster. Those things are becoming much more common now. That regular mobs drop them, so you don't need to specifically hunt down crystals and things like that. I think here is going to be a good point to simply just go towards the portal, tag it, and get ambushed. Because of course we're going to get ambushed here. Giant's Blood is level 9. That's not one of the nice books. 15% chance whenever I get hit. Instant heal plus regen for 10 seconds. It is neat. Okay, let's just take a little step outside here. They are angry. They are incredibly angry. And they have a habit of just putting ground effects after me whenever I move. Okay, that's maybe not the brightest of ideas since I'm boxing myself in here. Yeah, definitely was not the smartest of plans. Okay, at least one down. Health potion. Already on the recharge, so that's not great either. Somehow I did not die and I did manage to kill him. But comfortable is very different. Hello there, Ulgrim. You could have helped me. But of course now you were full of confidence that I could handle it. I know. It's almost touching. And we're gonna get ambushed and still full of confidence. Yes. Okay. Actually we still have to report back to Dela. You know what? For now, I'll do that in between episodes. That's gonna be too long of a walk that doesn't really do much. So for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching. Welcome back to Grim Dawn, and hope to see you again next episode. Bye bye.